Hello, welcome back to Detailing and the Beast. Today we're going to be doing a deep clean on glass. So what do we need for this? So for starters we're going to have to do some general cleaning of the glass. So I've got some old microfiber towels there. Then we're going to do a glass polish, which I've got a microfiber and a microfiber applicator. We've then got a buffing towel and we have a Pure Star glass finishing towel. Chemicals you're going to need, doesn't matter on the brands here, you can go and pick your own. But I've got a Autoglim car glass polish, Easy Car Care's Gecko, which is a glass cleaner and a water repellent in one. And then, just because I like to seal my glass up properly, I use a Mitchell&King Vision Rain Repellent. Now if you want to take things a step further, you can use, instead of using the microfiber with the glass polish, you can use a felt pad for a machine or a handy puck. So I've got the Auto Finesse handy puck there. That just makes it easier for polishing using the puck. Or you can use a generic 3-inch machine polisher or a machine polisher with a 3-inch backing plate. And that'll just speed the job up. It doesn't do anything in regards to the finish. If you do it by hand, it'll just take a little bit longer. But you can use a machine if you want to. So for the purposes of this video, we will be using it on a microfiber applicator, just because that's what most people have got and have access to. And this is the glass that we're going to be cleaning. It's the windshield on my Ford Ranger, and you can just see the level of general grime and grubbiness, and yeah, it's not good. It's been needing to be done for a little while. A quick jet wash here and there does normally sort it out, but it'll leave water spotting. You can see evidence of that down here. There's just a lot of grease and road film and just winter crap on there. So we'll get started. So the first stage is always to clean your windscreen. So using your windscreen cleaner, I always go product to cloth on this, but you can go product to glass straight away. And we're just going to remove as much of that grime and grease as we can. So we're firstly going to spread the product. Don't forget to get down all these little areas down the bottom. You can see most of the grease and that will collect down the bottom areas here, just be underneath your wipers, so just make sure you give that a really good clean. Don't forget, we are going to polish this in a minute, so we're only trying to get rid of 90–95%. So once you've done that with that cloth, we use the other cloth just to buff. And again, you're not looking for perfection at this point. So I'm just going to repeat for the other side. And if your cloth gets wet from product or dirty, you can always just flip the towel over and use a clean portion of the towel. Again, just for reference, not looking for perfection at this point, we are going to polish the glass. It's just getting rid of 90–95% of that dirt. So this is an optional stage, but it will make your glass squeaky clean. What you can do is you can clay the glass. So any usual fine grade clay will do. Tear a bit off your block, mould it into a little flat like that. You need some clay lube for most of these. Now a clay lube, don't buy it as it comes, as in don't buy a dedicated clay lube. What you can use if you have it is this. It's Quick Detailer. Mixed down 1:8, so 1 part Quick Detailer, 8 parts water, and that is a clay lube. So what you're going to need to do is spray the clay lube liberally all over the glass, spray some into your hand as well on the clay, and then work the clay over the glass. If you feel any resistance, any stickiness, work that patch more, because that's obviously bonded contaminants to your glass. You're looking for a nice, sleek finish, a smooth finish to the clay gliding over the glass. Once that happens, you know it's all done. You can even look at the clay and see what contaminants you've picked up. And that's the sort of level of contamination we've picked up. Now we're going to move on to polishing. Before we do, we need to wipe all that clay lube off, so what we're going to do is just give it a very quick once over again with the glass cleaner and just make sure everything's dry before polishing. Then once the glass is clayed and cleaned, we move on to polishing. And now we're going to take our microfiber applicator, glass polish. We're just going to spread that around very thinly for starters, just to get coverage. And then we're going to work half the windscreen at a time, small overlapping circular motions with moderate pressure. And we're going to cover the entire half of this windscreen before moving on to the other half and doing the same thing. So now you'll be left with polished residue haze all over the windscreen. What we're going to do now is use that blue cloth to remove. Now it is worth noting at this point that it helped to clean the inside of your windscreen before doing the outside. And I also want to raise the fact that if you do up and down motions on the outside and horizontal motions on the inside, you can see where your buffing marks are and whether they're on the inside or the outside of the glass. So I've already done the inside of mine. The cabin's pretty clean, the inside of the windscreen's pretty clean. So I'm just going to do this buffing now. You can always flip the towel if you want to. And we're just going to remove all of that polish residue from the screen. So whether or not you've done the clay bar step, you will have done the polishing step. We now have a final clean which has been done. What we're going to do is we're going to wipe over that with a plush microfiber just to get rid of any streaks or anything that's left over from both of them processes. So we'll just get on and do that now. We'll give it a quick wipe up. Then what we're going to do is apply the rain repellent. So after that's all been wiped down and cleaned, what we're going to do now is apply a rain repellent. Now most of these are a liquid format, whereby you spray them on, buff them on, leave them to haze for a little while, and then polish them, buff them off. So what we're going to do is, I don't normally spray them on because of overspray, etc. So I, again, will just use the product and a microfiber applicator. I will put some of the product onto the applicator and then work it onto the glass and leave it to haze. And again, we just put that on with circular motions, overlapping, and cover the whole windscreen. So once that's been applied, you should see that it's got a haze like this. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to leave that for a few minutes to cure. So that's now been about 4 or 5 minutes. The product seems to have disappeared in places. It is still hazy, but it does seem to have disappeared. There's no wetness on there now. There's a little bit in the middle, but other than that, it does seem to have gone. So what we're going to do now is just use the blue side of this towel. So again, just microfiber. So that's the grey side's plush, the blue side's short pile. We're going to remove it with the blue side, buff it down with the grey side. And then once all that's done, we're going to do a final finish with the Pure Star glass towel. This is literally just a wipe over, going over, checking your work, making sure everything's perfect. Again, this can be folded into 4. That will give you 8 sides. And we just again work over the glass, checking what we've done, making sure there are no streaks, no smears, no handprints. It's important not to touch the glass, or try not to touch the glass at this point, just to transfer any of them oils off your hands onto the glass. I mean, inevitably it will get dirty, but you don't want to ruin your hard work straight away. Okay, so there you have it. After all your hard work, this is what you're left with. Crystal clear glass, beautifully smooth, completely clean, oil free, dirt free. Admittedly, this is not something you want to be doing every week, so I would normally do this probably once every 6 months, but once every 12 months would be ample. So as always guys, thank you for all my new subscribers. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Anybody who's new here, drop me a subscribe please, it really will help my channel to grow. I'll see you on the next video.